Alright, so reassembly of the weapon is basically the opposite of disassembly. Now you notice here my barrel and locking block is separated. This is not something that should happen. When your weapon gets a little bit older and you've got several rounds through it, the locking block does tend to come out. It's not a huge ordeal. It is a bit of a jigsaw to get it back in though. It takes just the perfect angle, and sometimes it's easy and sometimes you fight with it for a little while. Okay? So there we go, it's back in. Easy test on this is if you push in with the locking block down, if you push on this plunger in the back, the locking block should come up. That means it's aligned properly. Okay? So first thing we've got to do is put our barrel back into our slide. So here's our slide assembly. Notice it's upside down, and this is the hole in the front where the barrel comes out. All we're going to do is slide the barrel into that hole. Okay? So we're not trying to worry about any alignment, anything like that. We're just trying to get the barrel through the hole with the locking block up. Okay? Now if you just take your finger and set it on top of that locking block and slide it back, sometimes you got to slide it a couple of times. That locking block is going to fall down to where it's almost flush. Okay? So here the locking block is up. Here the locking block is down. Okay? So you want it almost flush on the top. Once you've got that done, you can go ahead and set that slide down. Recoil guide, spring, put them together. Doesn't matter which way it goes on the spring, the spring's identical on both ends. Okay? So then we're going to grab our slide assembly again. Now on the front here, you'll see this hole, and that's where the spring end goes in. So the spring goes in first, so your recoil guide is on the back here. You're going to depress that spring, and then that recoil guide is going to sit right on the edge of that locking block. Okay, there's not a whole lot of meat there. It seems like it's not going to hold, but it does. Okay, now once you've got that on, that spring is not real stable there, so make certain that you maintain control of the spring by wrapping your hands around it. To put the slide back on your receiver, you've got these grooves in the back here that line up with these grooves right here. So you're just going to take your slide and receiver, line them up, and then slide it back. Okay? Now once you get it back to about here, the easiest thing to do is just to set the weapon down on the desk or whatever, and then just push down. When you push down, the slide is going to move back a little bit, and it's going to give you just enough clearance to rotate that lever back up. Okay? Now it's important that you rotate that lever back up, because if you don't, then when you lock your slide to the rear and you go to release it, the slide and everything is going to slide right off of the weapon. Okay? So again, make certain that that lever is always in the locked position before you let that slide go forward. Okay? Real easy test. Once you've got it back together, just pull the slide back a little bit and let it go. It should stop itself. Okay? So that's about it for reassembly. After you reassemble your weapon, you're going to want to do a function check.